Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at an updated and slimmed down version of one of the most popular Joy-Con alternatives for the Nintendo Switch, and that's the Split Pad Compact from HORI. And real quick, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything happening with the channel. And with that out of the way, let's find out how this latest version of the Split Pad stacks up to the original. So I reviewed the original Split Pad Pro a few years ago. It actually happened to be my first product review video, and if you happen to see that video, you'll know I was pretty lukewarm on the Split Pad Pro. As far as ergonomics were concerned, I much preferred using a grip along with the stock Joy-Con, and I found the overall build quality to feel kind of cheap with a lot of spongy feeling buttons. Plus, when you factored in the lack of rumble, motion controls, and amiibo support, I just didn't find the Split Pad Pro to be all that compelling. And while the Split Pad Compact probably still won't replace my Joy-Con grip combo in handheld mode, there are quite a few things about it that I like better than the original. But before we go over that, let's do a quick run through for those who aren't familiar with what exactly the Split Pad is. So the Split Pad Pro and Compact are essentially Pro Joy-Con that give you a more comfortable and Pro controller-like experience in handheld mode. You have full-size analog sticks, larger buttons and triggers, a proper D-pad, and a more ergonomic grip, as well as a few extra features like mappable back paddles and turbo functionality. Unlike the official Joy-Con though, both the Split Pad Pro and Split Pad Compact are designed to be used exclusively in handheld mode and only work when connected to the Switch tablet. The Split Pad Compact is available for $49.99 in the light gray yellow combo I've got here, as well as an apricot red color variant. If you don't mind importing, you can also get a few other nice color options with the Split Pad Fit as it's known in Japan. So how is the Split Pad Compact different from the Split Pad Pro? Well, it mainly comes down to the slightly smaller size, the build quality, and the overall aesthetics. As you can see here, the Split Pad Compact is just a little bit less wide than the Pro, and it also shaves off the bottom prongs of the original. Even with those prongs gone though, I actually find the newer design more comfortable and natural feeling to hold somehow. The compacts are contoured a little bit differently on the backside, but it's enough for them to fit my hands a little bit better. I found the original Split Pad Pro to feel strangely flat for how Pro controller shaped it was. And while the Split Pad Compact still isn't quite as comfortable as Skull & Co.'s or Satisfy's grip options, it's definitely more comfortable than the Joy-Con alone. I've been using the Split Pad Compact for a few weeks now and have enjoyed many, several hour-long handheld gaming sessions without any cramping or discomfort. As far as the build quality goes, one of the things that jumped out to me immediately was the elimination of the super squishy rubber buttons of the original. The plus and minus buttons, capture and home buttons, and assign and turbo buttons are all now normal, hard plastic clicky buttons which feel a lot better. The analog sticks are slightly less tall on the Compact as well, and now have textured thumb caps which are noticeably less slippery than on the Pro. Just like the original, the full-size analog sticks are probably the single biggest upgrade the Split Pad offers. When playing a few retro titles, I thought that the dead zones on the Compact might be slightly larger than with the Joy-Con, but after testing them in the calibration settings, I don't think that's the case. I just think things feel a little different with the sticks on the Compact having a much wider range of motion. The face buttons aren't quite as big now, but still much larger than on the original Joy-Con. They're also flatter and have a bit less travel than on the Split Pad Pro. The click is pretty similar too, but feels just a little better to me. Just a touch more resistance and a bit more of a defined click. The D-pad also feels similar, but again, slightly better than on the original, which is nice because I was pretty disappointed with how spongy the D-pad felt on the Split Pad Pro. The triggers feel mostly the same, but I do prefer the ZL and ZR buttons on the Split Pad Compact. The L and R buttons are a little tiny now, but I've had no issues with them during gameplay. The added mappable back buttons also feel more tactile on the Compact. I really like their position and size too. The perfect blend of being easy to press, but not easily by accident. The backs of the Compact also have a slightly different textured finish. Instead of the fine, kind of crosshatch texture, HORI went with a somewhat odd but highly effective irregular splotch pattern. It might look a little strange up close, but I actually really like the feel of it. The Split Pad Compact also fits the Joy-Con rails more snugly than the original Split Pad Pro and the stock Joy-Con as well. They slide into the rails just as easily, but they don't have that same amount of flex. The Split Pad Pro specifically almost felt like it was bending in the middle under its massive width. The Split Pad Compact, on the other hand, almost makes my Switch OLED feel like a full-sized unibody Switch Lite. Something I found a little strange about the original Split Pad was how far the face of it sat above the Switch screen. The Split Pad Compact still isn't completely flush with the screen, but it's much closer and has this nice little scooped edge that at least makes it flush on the very edges. I also much prefer the look of the Split Pad Compact to the Split Pad Pro. The Compact looks much more modern to me somehow, while the Split Pad Pro almost looks comically wide and like a weapon Batman would use or something. And it might not be for everyone, but I really love the light gray and yellow combo here with the Compact. The light gray matches the Switch OLED dock very well, and the pops of yellow are a nice touch. I like the way the Split Pad Compact looks in the dock too, just something a little different that doesn't look too out of place. For me, the overall look of the Compact is a major improvement over the Pro. As far as features and functionality, everything is pretty much the same here with the Split Pad Compact, and that will undoubtedly be a disappointment for some people. Just like with the Split Pad Pro, the Split Pad Compact still lacks rumble, motion controls, amiibo support, and an IR sensor. Although I can't remember the last Switch game I played that took advantage of that functionality, probably something with Labo, I imagine. The Split Pad Compact also lacks internal batteries, so just like the original, it will only work when attached to the Switch itself. And because of this, you can't wake the Switch up from sleep using the home button and have to use the power button instead. That's not quite as big a deal as some of the third-party controllers that lack this feature, since you'll only be using the Split Pad in handheld mode. Sometimes if I've just turned my Switch off or if I have it plugged into a charger, I'll get my Switch to wake up with the home button, but it's not really reliable. And because the Switch Pad powers itself from the Switch tablet, I've seen some concern that these will drain the battery faster, and while that's probably true, I didn't really notice any appreciable difference to the point that it became a nuisance or anything. I imagine things are a little worse if you're using the button assignment or turbo functions, which causes these red LED indicators to stay lit. At least for me, the biggest disappointment with these is the lack of rumble, although as I've mentioned before in reviews of other officially licensed third-party controllers, the lack of rumble doesn't appear to so much be a decision on HORI's part, but rather a stipulation Nintendo has with their officially licensed partners. For whatever reason, no officially licensed third-party controllers for the Switch feature rumble. Just another one of those odd Nintendo things. Personally, I can't help but feel like I'm missing something with rumble removed, but if that's not something that's all that important to you, I imagine the split pads become that much more appealing. Using the mappable paddles and turbo functions is very simple. You just either press the assign button or turbo button simultaneously with the button of your choice, and cancel the functionality by pressing the assign or turbo buttons again with no other buttons pressed. Keep in mind you can only assign functionality to a button on the same side though. For example, you can't assign the A, B, X, and Y buttons to the left back paddle. And I'm not sure I'd exactly call it a feature, but one advantage the split pads have over some of the grip options out there is that the Split Pad Pro and Compact are dockable, so you won't have to remove them while playing on the TV. And I think that about does it. For $49.99, I think the Split Pad Compact is a good buy as long as you're aware of some of the missing features. I do think a slightly lower price point would really make the Split Pad Compact appealing, but I don't think these are wildly overpriced or anything. Overall, the Split Pad Compact feels and looks better than the Pro, and offers a genuine improvement over the analog sticks and ergonomics of the stock Joy-Con. If you're looking for something to make handheld mode more comfortable, don't care about rumble, and don't feel like messing with the grip, I think the Split Pad Compact makes for a compelling option. I'll leave a link to the Split Pad Compact down in the description if you'd like to check it out for yourself. Let me know in the comments what you think of the Split Pad Compact. Would you prefer something like this over the Split Pad Pro, or would you rather just stick with Joy-Con or a grip? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like on the way out and also consider subscribing. And until the next video, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.